Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we've got another beta match for the Gundam card game for you guys. And for this one, we're using a couple of more experimental decks that I haven't been doing as much testing with, and it's kind of based off a lot of comments I've gotten on the last couple of videos on what you guys want to see, and also some kind of combinations and just kind of thoughts on that too. So if you guys want any of the deck lists we use in this video, we're going to go over it in a minute, but you can find them on my website, Eggman Events, which is linked in the description. We're playing the white base unicorn versus the strike and wing Gundam. And then also, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be making a lot more Gundam content in the next couple weeks, and I'm really looking forward to the full launch of this card game here in North America at the end of summer too. So jumping on into it though, the two decks that we have are first the blue version of like a white base with unicorn Gundam at the top end. So it's kind of a mostly blue deck, and this is kind of based off some comments I've been receiving saying like, oh, blue is a really good like complementary color, right? We've got cards like Gun Tank, which is really strong. We have Gun Cannon, which is like a really good like early turn kind of play. Like even the Star Deck Gundam is a pretty good like mid-range tool to play this when you're at level 4, and it just kind of trades into stuff really efficiently, which is really nice. And then obviously we have cards like the white base and then the Show of Resolve. Being able to draw 2 in this game just means that like late, if we get to the late game at a healthy spot, we're just going to out-resource our opponent pretty quickly if we see a copy of this too. So that's kind of like the idea for this deck, but we don't have as much of a top end for it. So my idea with it is just kind of using it with the Unicorn Gundam Unicorn mode. So it has this during pair and destroyed. So that means if you're paired while this card is destroyed, if this is a link unit, return the paired pilot to your hand, and then you get to discard 1 card. So that means that the only card that we are able to link with it right now is this Bonager Lynx, which is a level 5 1-cost pilot. It does have a +2/+2 for AP and a HP, and when paired, if this is a link unit, you get to draw 1 card. So as you can kind of see, drawing cards is pretty rare in this game right now, and it's something that I think blue does really well. And so being able to get more cards, not only just resource-wise, but seeing more of your deck to be able to see more of your pieces, your pilots, and everything else, I think is something that's really strong for this game. So because of that, we are playing 4 copies of that in unicorn mode. It means that you can turn this into a 6/5, which can usually trade into something really nicely, go for kind of a 2-for-1, and then you still get your pilot back at the end of it. So if you have any cards that are just like not doing anything in your hand, the fact that this just generically gives a +2/+2, even if you don't link it with something, if you just pair it with it instead, it's really strong, and it does help you go like 2-for-1s for some unit trades at times. I think that's something that's really strong for it. Like even just making this Gundam a 5/6 with repair 2 means that there's a lot of cards that just kind of have to like respect how strong this card can be, and you can do some really good value trades too. So I like that idea for it. I like the additional cycle for it, and it's been very, very strong. So the other kind of cards, just to wrap it up, I think Aandroidd is like a fantastic card. Being able to rest something with 5 or less HP is most cards in the game right now, and it kind of links with most cards in the deck. It links with the Lotto, it links with the Gun Cannon, it links with both Gundams, as well as the Gundam MA form too. So like if you see one of these, like half your deck you're able to do a link pair with it, which is really nice. And then also like the Gundam MA form, this is kind of like a worse version of Unicorn in the fact that we do get the draw card, but it's only with a white base team pilot, but only Amuro is able to link with it. There are some scenarios where like I have something like Thoroughly Damaged or Kai's Resolve just kind of dead in hand, so being able to just put it underneath my my Gundam MA form just to get the free cycle from there is really nice, so I do appreciate that. And then for the rest of it, we are just playing like the white base as a way to get more value throughout the game. So honestly, we're pretty close to a pretty like mono blue build. We're only playing green since the Zaku 2, I think, is one of the strongest 1-drops, if not the strongest, 1-cost level 2 cards in the game right now. Just being able to attack for 3 is really, really nice. And then the Fall Med, kind of the same thing. The fact that we're able to pop out tokens with this, I think, is really strong, and it helps kind of push our game plan for what we're trying to do in this. So we can get like rushed down a little bit since we don't have as many like stabilizing cards, and we don't have like blockers that are more which is kind of more on the white side for it. But I like what this deck does. I like the amount of draw consistency that we get compared to other decks in this game, and it surprised me of how good this was too. So this is the build that I was running. And then we also have Strongest Wizard Arsos on this green and white wing and strike Gundam build. So this is one that I think you have a chance to be really strong with. The fact that you kind of run out of steam eventually is a little bit scary for a deck like like this, but I do think like Wing Gundam is one of, if not the strongest card independently in this game. The fact that it has a Breach 5 effect, the fact that it can attack active level 4 or lower targets is really, really good. And obviously, if you're able to link it with the hero, you get to make a 7/7 with Breach 5. It just gets rid of a lot of things, which I think is impactful. So because of that, I do like the inclusion of this deck for what it is. We are playing a little bit of just kind of the breach package too, so I think that's a little bit more strong for this deck in general. We are playing like the Rick Dom, just a breach 2, which is a level 3 2 cost, so kind of like a backup copy if we don't see Wing Gundam. We also play the Shenlong because it's just hard to not play this card. Just the fact that it has breach 3 all by itself is really, really strong. We are playing 3 copies of the Wu Fei, which not only like links with the Shenlong, but you still get to get the effect from it from the Wing Gundam. So you're able to turn it into a 6/6, and then you're able to, you know, if it has breach, you don't get damage from enemies with a 3 or less AP. So the fact that you're able to attack into something and not take damage and do breach 5 is really, really strong. So I think like 3 copies of Wu Fei works really well as like a backup pilot for this Wing Gundam. So the only other stuff we have is like a small like wing strike, or sorry, a strike Gundam package. So we are playing like the draw 1 trash 1, which helps us just find a little bit more of our deck. We are playing the perfect strike Gundam, which is a pretty good blocker for getting rid of 1 HP things, which we don't really have access to a lot of removal for that otherwise. And then also the L strike Gundam, we're playing 2 copies of that just because it's an okay blocker. Sometimes we're able to use that and get rid of things. If you like L strike a little bit more than the perfect strike, you can choose which one you like more from that way. The only reason we're playing the perfect strike Gundam 3 copies is because we're also playing the Hawk of Endymion, which is able to make it a 5/0 and gain rush, since it does pair with the Earth Alliance trait, which we do have off the Hawk of Endymion. So I think that's worth it for this one. I think like the bounce back, the bounce back for this one is like a little bit more restrictive, since it's also pilot with like level 4 or more. So is fine for what it is. There's also like the fact that you can put this underneath Wing Gundam 2, and then even though it's only a 6/6 as well, the fact that you're taking 2 less attack damage from every attack you do, I think is pretty impactful and helps you out from there. So other than that, we are playing like Overflowing Affection to get some additional card draw, and then also one of our bases is the St. Gabriel Institution. Being able to just play this on turn 2 and look at the top 2 cards, put one to the bottom, one to the top, helps us find our Wing Gundam a little bit easier too. So we really, once we get to level 6, we want to try to play Wing Gundam every game. I think we get there moderately accurately with this deck too, and I think it's something that you kind of need to like hard mulligan into, just because you lose a lot of tempo by not playing Wing Gundam as soon as possible either. So I think this is an interesting build. I don't think this one is as refined as maybe the blue one, and it's something that I still need to do some testing with. So if you have a build with kind of this color combination and unit combination in mind, and you think you're happy with it, please let me know, because I'd be curious to see how you guys are building these as well. But those are the 2 decks that we play for this game, and let's go to the example game. All right, we've got our game here. I'm on the left with the blue and green unicorn build, and we got Sos on the right with the green and white Wing Gundam. We do a quick dice roll, and I end up winning, so I am going to go second to get that EX resource. I generally think second is the better of the 2, but it is pretty close. But just being able to get up on the level curve without necessarily losing the EX resource is generally pretty strong. Also, my camera is a little bit off center. I didn't notice that when recording, so enjoy the extra corgi cam as we get into this. We're just going to play the Zaku 2, which is one of the best starter cards I think in this game right now. We have Sos with the Strike Dagger on the other side, passing it back to me. We're going to go 3 AP into the EX base and then play the Gun Cannon, which is pretty nice for getting able to just play something on 2 and then 3 as well, which is pretty strong. We have the Strike Gundam going to go into our Zaku 2, only taking 1 damage, and then we're going to play the Fall Mail base, which is going to let us take a card from our shield to our hand and then play a 3/1 Zaku token from there. And then also a Zaku 2 from Sos as well, so a pretty good aggressive board for him there. We're going to use the Thoroughly Damage to get rid of the Strike Dagger there by using the main to choose a rested character or unit and get 1 damage to it. We're going to trade our Gun Cannon into the token, and we're just going to play our vanilla Gundam. It's a level 4 2-drop that is a 3/4 and links with the Amuro Ray. So we have the EX base getting hit with the Zaku 2, 3 damage to 3 health. And then we have Sos with what looks like, I believe, an additional 4 there. So we're going to play out the Strike Gundam. Going to use the on play to draw 1 and discard 1, looking at which one we're discarding there, making it the Strike Gundam there. And then we're going to, for 2, play another Strike Dagger and pass it back to us. So we are a little bit kind of overwhelmed with how many units they've been able to play, but we are going to be able to stabilize a little bit. We're going to attack into the Zaku 2, take 1 damage, and then play 2 units of our own, another one of our vanilla Gundams, as well as the gun cannon there. So Sos is currently at level 5 here, looking at what he says he wants. I'm going to be going to level 6 next turn since I do have the EX resource. We're going to start with the Strike Daggers, trading with the Gundam there, and 3 damage into the shields, hitting a resolve there, which is not going to do anything without a trigger. Looks like 4 additional resources here for the next play, and we're going to play out the Ale Strike Gundam, and then also just going to play the Overflowing Affection to draw 2, and then put 1 card into the discard. I likely would have started with that just to see if we got anything worth it, but it's still a pretty good play, and a 4/4 blocker can do some kind of nice traits here as well. But we're at 6. We are going to play the Amuro Ray underneath the gun cannon, so we are going to be able to rest the Ale Strike and then attack and trade into it with the gun cannon. So not too bad there. We're going to attack our Gundam into the Strike Gundam to be able to take 3 damage and get rid of it, and then we're going to play our white base. So this is a pretty strong base, especially since we only have 1 unit right now. We're going to pay an additional 2 resources to play out this token, and we're going to pass it back to Sos there. So we've got this 3/1 Gundam and then this 2/2 token as well. And it looks like they've got the Wing Gundam, which again is one of the strongest, if not the strongest cards in the game, and the hero there to be able to make it a 7/7 and give it the ability to attack the turn it is played. So we're going to go right into there, get the breach damage and take 2 damage of our own. And it's going to be kind of hard for us to clear immediately with the cards we have available. We just have a 3 attack, and right now the Wing Gundam is at 5 HP. So we're going to go back to our turn real quick, and being able to get rid of the white base is also really strong here, since it is something that's able to just keep making us tokens throughout the game. We're going to start with a Show of Resolve to draw 2 cards. We're going to attack into the Wing Gundam, and then we're going to play 2 gun tanks here to do the additional 2 damage needed to get rid of it, and then to end it with the EX resource to play the Fall Mail, and we do get a 3/1 token. So a pretty okay turn from us. We get to go pretty wide with all the units we have and to be able to get rid of the Wing Gundam. So hopefully that this Fall Mail base will stay a little bit longer than the white base from the previous turn. But I see what's in So's hand, and he does have another Wing Gundam and then another hero, thanks to the additional Overflowing Affection and the drawing and cycling. So attacking into one of the gun tanks, doing 1 damage to the Wing Gundam and getting rid of the base once again, and then playing another Zaku 2 to end the turn. So we are a little bit low on shields, but we do see that Sos doesn't have a lot of cards in hand currently too. And we're going to play Unicorn Gundam with the Bonager links there. So we are a 6/5. We can attack the turn we're played, so we can trade into this Wing Gundam pretty nicely. We get to draw a card from being able to be linked with the Bonager, and then with the Unicorn when destroyed effect, we're able to put the Bonager back in our hand by discarding a card. So pretty nice there. We have 2 attacks, so we're doing 4 damage to the base, and there's 1 HP left for the Fall Mail on Sos's side. So we have this 2/1, or sorry, this 1/2 that turns into a 3/2. This could have maybe gone into shields. It might have been pretty strong to be able to try to pressure that, but we do have the Shenlong as well as the Wu Fei, so being able to get rid of the token and do the additional breach damage I think is really strong. And then we do have another Overflowing Affections, drawing 2, and it's a bit of a decision. It's Rick Dom or Wing Gundam. We can play Wing Gundam next turn, it's the better card, but we can play Rick Dom this turn right now, and which could have been, it can make a difference since we are presenting 3 attacks and a field where I only have 2 shields. So definitely a lot of pressure, but Sos is running out of steam and resources. We're going to start off with another Unicorn Gundam with the links that we know that we have in hand, so it's going to let us draw another card there. We've got 3 resources left, it seems, so we are going to need to attack into somewhere. Looks like we're going to attack into likely the Zaku 2. Yeah, attack into the Zaku 2. And then looks like we've got 3 resources left, so we're just going to play a Starter Deck Gundam here with the Repair 2. So a little bit scary, but they likely won't be able to do enough with just 1 card top decking for the rest of this. They'll likely put us down to 0 shields this turn, but we're not quite out of it yet. So we're going to start with the Rick Dom attacking into the shields there, hitting into a Show of Resolve. We're going to attack the Shenlong into the last shield there, so we're down to 0 shields, and play another copy of Zaku 2. So we have to probably try to establish a base and see if we can get rid of some cards. We're going to start off with a white base, though, which is going to help save us here, and then into a Show of Resolve for an additional draw 2. So this is a pretty good start for us. We've got, 4 resources left to try to interact with this board. We can do some pretty nice trades as well, and we'll see what we decide to do. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to attack the Unicorn into the Shenlong. With that, we'll put links back into our hand by discarding a Fall Mail. And then for 2, we are going to use the white base effect to play a 2/2 token, since we only have 1 unit left. And then the finish of the turn, we're going to put the Bonager links underneath the Gundam. This is just a pair, but since it is a +2/+2, that means we are a 5/6 body that gets to heal 2 at the end of your turn. So we're currently a 5/5 right now. We have the Strike Gundam, not really doing anything, just kind of milling a card off the top of our deck. Zaku 2 is going to attack into the base there, and then we're going to pass back. I think there might have been like an argument to not attack with the Zaku 2, just because we'd rather just try to do the 5 and try to sequencing everything at once. But we're going to use our white base effect to play a 1/1 token. We have our Gundam MA form, and we have an Amaru Ray, which is not only the link for it, but we do also get a draw with the Wend paired effect from the Gundam MA. So being able to get the rest on the Zaku 2 with the Amuro is really nice. We're going to attack our Gundam into the Strike Gundam, taking 3 damage, but we will be repairing 2 at the end of the turn, and then get rid of that Fall Mail. Finally, it's been on the board for most of the game, and this is pretty scary for Sos, but this is probably one of the better top decks. It's a perfect Strike Gundam, which will let us return a token to hand, which does just remove it from the game, and it is a blocker in case we are worried about losing. But 0 shields to 5, we still have our white base hanging in there, and the first hit was a Kira, which is a little bit scary. The fact that we gave them a pilot that they could use to try to win next turn is scary, since we have a bunch of Strike Gundams, but hitting 2 off of the shields into the trash does feel good. It means that the odds for a top deck are pretty low for Sos over there. We're going to use our white base effect once again to be able to get a 1/1 token. Since it doesn't matter how many, as long as we have like 2 or more, we just play our 1/1 token, and then we're going to replace our white base with another one, just so it's a little bit healthier here. I kind of know that this is either I win next turn or Sos wins next turn, so we got to kind of fix that up. We've got 6 units on our board by playing a Unicorn to end the turn, and we'll see what the top deck from Sos's side is. But looks like it's going to be a little bit tough. We do see the Wing Gundam Bird Mode, which is the top deck here, which is a strong card. If they ended up hitting a hero off of their shields, they definitely could have won right here with doing that. But with just having the Kira instead, it's a little bit of a mismatch, and you're just missing 1 attack to kind of go for game. So we're attacking into the token just to get rid of it. But at this point, it's pretty clear that it looks like we're winning this one. So attacking the tokens into the shields, attacking with the Gundam MA form. And for fun, I see that I had another link, so we could draw a card, and then we get a Lotto, which we are able to use the thoroughly damage to get 1 more attack in case we needed it for this turn. But this is a lot of fun. I really appreciate Sos playing with me. I think both these decks are pretty fun for what they are. Maybe a little bit less consistent or strong compared to other builds, but I'm happy I was able to build them and play some games with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So if you guys want some more Gundam content in the future, make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all next time.